A 35-year-old white man named Peter stood holding his 12-year-old daughter, Lily's hand, facing a group of police officers. Both father and daughter bore visible bruises on their skin. Sarah and Lucas, two black officers in their 30s, had shoved them roughly without hesitation. There had been a car accident in their predominantly Hispanic neighborhood, and by the time the police arrived, Peter and others had already organized traffic to prevent further chaos. Frustrated with the officers' delayed response, Peter stepped forward to confront them. "Why did it take you so long to get here? We had to handle everything ourselves. My daughter and I got hurt because of this," he demanded. Sarah sneered, her tone dripping with disdain. "So what if we were late? You're still alive, aren't you? Not like this neighborhood has much to lose anyway." Her words hit like a slap. Peter's outrage flared. "What if we had died? Don't you have any sense of responsibility?" he asked, his voice shaking with emotion. Lucas chuckled and muttered, "Responsibility for people like you, please." Without warning, they pushed Peter and Lily backward, causing them to stumble. "Maybe this will teach you not to question us," Lucas mocked as they turned and walked away, leaving Peter fuming. Watching the whole incident unfold was Jasmine, a young rookie officer of Hispanic descent. She winced at her colleagues' actions but was too intimidated to intervene directly. Later that day, back at the station, she hesitated before finally gathering the courage to address the behavior she had witnessed. "We shouldn't treat people like that. They deserve respect as much as anyone else," Jasmine said, her voice trembling slightly. Sarah rolled her eyes. "You're new, so I'll let that slide. But let me tell you, these people bring it on themselves. They're nothing but troublemakers." Lucas smirked. "Don't waste your breath, rookie. You'll learn soon enough." The next morning, however, Sarah didn't show up for her shift. Calls to her went unanswered. Concerned, Lucas and Jasmine were sent to her apartment to check on her. When they arrived, they found the door unlocked. Inside, the bathroom door stood ajar, and Sarah's lifeless body lay in the overflowing bathtub. Water spilled across the floor. Police were called to the scene, but Jasmine couldn't shake the unsettling feeling as she left. She thought she saw Peter standing in the distance, watching. The following day, Lucas was found dead as well, floating face down in the pool at his apartment complex. With two senior officers gone in such a short span, fear and suspicion spread through the department. Jasmine couldn't ignore the eerie sense of connection between the deaths and Peter's confrontation. That morning, while jogging her usual route, Jasmine felt a sudden, forceful shove that sent her tumbling into a nearby canal. The cold water closed over her head, and panic set in as she struggled against unseen hands pulling her under. Just as she thought it was over, a middle-aged man, the very same Peter, grabbed her arm and hauled her to safety. Drenched and gasping for air, Jasmine's eyes locked onto Peter's briefly before he walked away without a word. Still rattled, Jasmine returned home to find her kitchen flooded. The faucet she was sure she had turned off before leaving was running full blast. As she scrambled to clean up, a message notification popped up on her phone. The email, from an anonymous sender, contained chilling details about Sarah and Lucas's deaths and warned Jasmine that she would be next if she didn't align herself with the sender's agenda. The email also revealed the existence of a vigilante group seeking justice against corrupt officers, with Peter as a leading figure. It demanded her cooperation, promising to spare her life if she helped expose the department's internal corruption. Jasmine's mind raced. She felt trapped between fear for her life and the weight of her conscience. Against her better judgment, she followed the instructions in the email and arrived at an abandoned warehouse. There, she found Peter waiting, alongside several other community members. "You've seen what happens when people abuse their power," Peter said, his voice steady but cold. "We're done being victims." He gestured toward a young girl tied to a chair in the center of the room. It was Lily. "Prove yourself," he said. "Show us you're willing to fight corruption." Jasmine froze. "This isn't justice," she whispered. Peter's expression hardened. "Justice doesn't come easy. Do it?" But Jasmine couldn't bring herself to harm Lily. Instead, she untied her and shielded the girl with her own body. "This isn't the way," she said, staring Peter down. Suddenly, police sirens wailed outside. Officers stormed the building, arresting Peter and his accomplices. Jasmine's refusal to comply had bought her time to secretly alert her department. However, her own involvement in meeting the vigilante group implicated her, leading to disciplinary action. Months later, Jasmine, no longer an officer, sought out Peter, who was now behind bars. She confronted him through the glass. "Your anger is justified, but your methods were wrong. There has to be a better way." Peter's face softened for a moment, then turned away. As Jasmine walked out of the prison, she resolved to dedicate her life to bridging divides and advocating for accountability, vowing to prove that true justice could never grow from hate.